The action against fake pilot Garima Pasi, who has been sacked earlier today, comes 10 days after Times Now exposed her. Now, this action comes even as Times Now exposed a series of emails exchanged between SpiceJet and Garima Pasi's training schools that showed how Pasi was hired despite severe objections from her American training school, and that SpiceJet was clearly in the know of Pasi's incompetence. Now, former employee of SpiceJet, Captain Dhilo, who was in fact working with the company when Garima Pasi was sacked as a cadet pilot in 2008, has spoken to Times Now, saying that she was sacked because of repeated failures to adhere to standards.
Garima was one of the cadets who was sent to Sabina for training. We were informed initially that she had a problem in landing that aircraft, and during the time the propeller had touched and broken down, which does happen in a training flight, so we didn't pay too much of attention. There was a report on it, and then she progressed a little bit more, and then there was a report again. Like this, she went through 3 hearings where it came out that her performance was not satisfactory up to the standard. We thought that we should give an independent opinion of 2 more senior examiners. So we requested them to examine her independently, and both the examiners gave a report which was negative. When we went through the reports, we terminated her, and there was a stipend which was being paid to all the cadets, and so the normal practice of stopping that, and she was out of the cadet program.
So regarding the internal mails, I'm not sure if the new management is aware of that, since they've taken over just recently. But the mails definitely point to the fact that the AVP has passed it on to Mr. Pasi.
Okay, and does this prove beyond doubt there is nepotism in the DGCA?
100% there is nepotism there. Because if you see that several officials there have their sons and daughters as pilots in various airlines, and you would see that most of them have passed exams and special exams. Their licenses have been issued in record time, and I don't think there's any scrutiny done. And even in the case of this Garima Pasi's case, from what I've heard and what I've seen, that I've seen the report from US. They definitely say that she's unfit. And if I'm not mistaken, for the application of a license, there's a form where you have to say you have an incident-free record. And if that has not been submitted, then it's a serious flaw on the part of the licensing section. And if they've given a certificate saying she did not have one, then she's lying. And her father, being the director of safety, cannot be party to this and keep quiet.
Now, this also seems to expose the fact that what SpiceJet had earlier said does not go with their step of, in fact, sacking Garima Pasi earlier today. Take a look at this reaction that had come from the CEO of the company, who had denied any knowledge of the case of Garima Pasi.
This is really an issue for the regulator, not for us. We have to be able to take a license on the basis of face value. So we can't go into every bit of experience that an individual has had in their past. For somebody like this that joined us with 200 hours, that might be feasible. But for somebody that has got 3,000 or 4,000 hours, this is just technically impossible. So we have to be able to rely on the license that we have from the regulator.
Now, this step having come after the trail of emails that Times Now accessed on exchanges between Sabina Flying Academy in US and SpiceJet. The first email mentioning Garima's poor performance and recommending termination. The second set of exchanges showing how the Flying Academy contacted SpiceJet recommending they stop the training of Garima Pasi. However, it is the third email that we will bring to you in just a short while. It actually is the particular email that's the nail in the coffin. SpiceJet had sent this email to Garima Pasi's father, R.S. Pasi, who was in fact in a very senior position in the DGCA. He was the Director of Safety of the Northern Zone. And SpiceJet must now answer why this mail was forwarded to Garima Pasi's father, who was in a position to influence decisions. And even as these questions are being raised, there is another trail of emails that shows how Pasi was first hired by SpiceJet despite an objection by her American school. She was thereafter fired after the training school in America sent SpiceJet a letter. In the letter, the flying school does recommend that Bussy be sacked as a performance was found lacking. Now, two of these mails are internal emails from SpiceJet asking the head of operations to act against Bussy, following which she was finally asked to leave leave the cadet program of SpiceJet in 2008. However, a bigger question, how did she make it back to the roles of SpiceJet?